Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm out there all on me, pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home, I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for, Instagram I'm back, yo. Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm out there all on me, pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home, I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for, Instagram I'm back, yo. Like flex on you haters, hi haters. This is my world, so it's all in my face.
Welcome back to the It's Case podcast. My name is Savin, aka Sav.
My name is Kunal. How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
I missed you. It's been so long.
When's the last time we did one of these?
Like 2021, right? It's been a while.
Long time.
We're fighting like pandemics back then. Now we're back and we're recording again.
That's true.
Good times.
That year, we also started playing Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Mm-hmm.
How's that experience been for you?
Yeah, so it's been completely different compared to like redraft and keeper leagues. This is a brand new concept of football. Like you draft a team 1 year. So for example, we drafted one in 2021 and now we have that same team for the most part, but additions and subtractions.
You're trying to build a dynasty.
Exactly.
I think most people are familiar with redraft leagues though. So how does it differ from redraft leagues?
Yeah, so redraft, you draft the team this year and then next year after the playoffs year's done, brand new team again. It's like, you start over and over and over again. Dynasty is a little different because you draft a team and then you stick it out. You try to build a dynasty. Like you said, you're like a real life GM. Like if I'm the Eagles, if I'm Howie, I draft a team and I'm building a dynasty over here. So similar concept and similar approach. You want to stay young, get rid of the old guys, cut costs early, and similar concept.
How does it change year to year?
Yeah, so I mean, like it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to rebuild, win now, there's different ways of playing. If you're trying to win now, you're trading all your draft picks and trying to acquire talented players now that'll help you this year. If you're trying to rebuild, then you trade your older players, star-worthy players that are a little older, like Mike Evans or one of those those types of guys, or Saquon even. You're trading them for draft picks so you could rebuild and get back into it in a year or two.
But year to year, you have your standard team, and then you're drafting only the rookies.
Correct. Yeah. So the draft in the summer that takes place is just the rookie draft, and you're drafting those players like rookies, pretty much adding onto your team.
And then how do trades work?
Yeah. So trades are pretty interesting, right? Like how in redraft people trade like 5 bumps for 1 star. Like I'll come to you, I'll be like, I'll give you Zacchaeus,
Julio Jones on the Eagles,
Quinion Walker, like all these like bumps, 5 buns for Jefferson. You would never want to do that, but I'll be like,
but what's the reason why I should accept it?
Oh, because you need depth, right? You're running out of players. You don't have the fifth.
I'm giving you 4 players and I'm taking 1 back.
Yeah, it's stupid. But in Dynasty, the fun part is you could add draft picks to marginalize that, like cut the gap in that trade value.
Oh, interesting. So what's a more reasonable trade for like a Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase type of player?
Puka, right? Like Puka is probably ranked as like a top 5 receiver, I would say. I can give you George Pickens and 2 first-round picks.
Crash out? Yes.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that.
I give you 2 first-round picks and George Pickens. That's like an even trade there where you can draft players. You could trade that for another asset. So kind of like if you have excess receivers, you would trade Puka for picks.
So most people are familiar with George Pickens as a player, but what do those draft picks mean to them?
Oh, draft picks are rookies. So, for example, like this year, I had the 10th overall pick in my league, and I ended up drafting Brock Bowers with the 10th overall, which is a solid player, and he's a rotational star tight end for me playing week in and week out. Right. So, if I trade Pickens for a number 1 first-round pick, I could get a guy like George Pickens. Or this year, you could get a guy like Hunter or Genti, depending on where the pick falls.
And how do people like actualize the value of certain players and picks?
Yeah, so personally, I think most Dynasty players will agree,
right?
Keep Trade Cut is the best website to use.
Pretty much the gold standard.
Exactly. It ranks values, all the players, all the draft picks, and kind of like gives you rankings and also trade calculators.
Trade calculators are where everyone tries to cook up their best trades, huh?
Even though this gets rid of doing the 5 for 1, you can still do it. I'll be like, oh, I'll give you a first, I'll give you a second, I'll throw you 6 thirds and try to like make make it make sense, but it usually doesn't. But this helps. It helps avoid that.
Yeah, and Keep Trade Cut works based on crowdsourced data. So every time a user enters the website, they select from 3 players to either keep, trade, or cut.
Yep.
And then based on those, they come up with a numerical value ranging from 0 to 9,999.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it, right? Like if you go on that website and you can look at individual QB values, running backs, receivers, tight ends. Who do you think the top QB is right now? QB running back. Let's go.
Well, so in real life, it's Patrick Mahomes.
For sure,
right?
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
I think it's probably Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I think running quarterbacks, adds value.
Right.
What about running back?
Running back, so I would have said Saquon, but that's more in real life. So in Dynasty form, it would be maybe like Bijan or Ashton JT coming up.
Or like Gibbs or someone like Gibbs, right?
Exactly.
Like I feel like you want a
Yes.
young guy that's on a good team, and that's how they value it. And I feel like receiver, you got the 2 receivers. We'll talk about that later, but who do you think the receivers are?
Jefferson Chase.
Yeah, easy.
One of those.
Real life and
Exactly. That's where it actually lines up.
Yep. And then tight end?
Tight end, Brock Bowers, San Laporta.
Exactly. Agreed.
Trey McBride, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so that was our little dynasty segment. We'll be talking about more of this as the season goes on next year, and also talking a little bit about our teams and our league.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should, for the viewers, we should do a little league ourselves and show them how it works.
I'd be down to do that. Maybe we stream our draft.
Yeah,
kind
and
of see how the standings go.
Exactly, and they could see a dynasty from the beginning. And you know us, we're definitely gonna build a dynasty together, so they can see how a dynasty forms through step by step, and they can follow the journey with us.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the 2025 NFL draft. Everyone's talking about the quarterbacks, namely Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's on your radar for them?
And I feel like it's a little weak of a draft this year. Like quarterbacks, like every team needs. Every team wants a great quarterback, and you need a quarterback to build a dynasty.
I mean, the past 2 years we've seen C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels have stellar rookie seasons, have them win a playoff game, and then kind of almost make a run there.
I mean, even if you look at last year's draft, like it was filled with star QBs. Like
exactly.
Like these guys are guys you want to build a franchise around. Drake May, Jaden Daniels, even Caleb, even though he wasn't great, he amazing, but yeah, him and Bo Nix, like great guys, and Michael Penix too. Even when he played, he was a solid player. So you want guys like that. This year doesn't look like there's guys like that.
So the first pick with the Titans, it looks like it's gonna be Cam Ward. But after that, why isn't there not kind of like a top 5 or top 10 QB?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the jury's out on Shedeur. Like everyone loves how he plays, everyone loves his aura, but like it's questionable. His mechanics are slow. Like he pats the ball. Like there's a lot that goes on there.
Well, patting the ball, is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think?
It's up to whoever's scouting him.
To pat or not to pat?
And Brady patted, so you can't.
The argument there is like the processing speed of Brady is so quick that the tiny amount of time to pat the ball it doesn't affect.
Exactly. I mean, Brady's an anomaly. You can't really compare anyone to Brady, but we'll see. I mean, it definitely slows him down a little bit just patting, but we'll see how it goes. And then people now are like saying Jackson Dart's going to be a great guy. Like he's moving with the ranking, but I don't think
there's always one of those.
Yeah, it always happens
every year.
And even Jalen Milroe might go in the first round. Like that doesn't make sense. He wasn't amazing. Like he was good, but like, is he an NFL quarterback?
They're looking for that next quarterback to kind of take them to the playoffs, maybe win a game or two, and have success.
And because of the 5th-year option now, they want like the rookie 5th-year option. They want a guy in the first round and try to.
Then you could build that team with like Avenger level superheroes and have a pedestrian at quarterback, right?
Yeah, like Brock Purdy.
Exactly. Speaking of Brock Purdy, does this remind you of all of the 2021 NFL draft?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at the 21 draft, right? Like Trevor Lawrence was a surefire number 1. He was supposed to be the next generation.
So that's like Cam Ward this year.
Maybe.
Kind of. Okay.
But Trevor Lawrence was supposed to be that guy where he's the
jury's still out on him.
Exactly. I don't think he's that guy, but we'll see. But then after him, like it's so weak. It was Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones. 4 guys that have been are on their 3rd team now.
That's actually kind of crazy. 2021 was only 4 years.
Exactly, and now they're on their 3rd team. That's insane.
Crazy.
So, like, if you look at that draft, right, there's so many other guys available, like Jamar Chase, Penei Sewell, Patrick Surtain.
They could have been taken over those quarterbacks.
Michael Parsons. Like, these are generational guys.
I think future Hall of Famers.
Exactly. So, like, I think you should try to wait and take, like a position, like a skill position or, like, even an offensive lineman player and then take a quarterback later. Because if you look at that draft, right, Brock Purdy was the last pick and he's solid.
Yeah, I think the take-home message is take the best player available.
Exactly. Unless you're like the Titans, right? You can take a quarterback and like see how it goes. But if you're like the Giants, like they just signed 2 quarterbacks. They have a good receiver. Or they're building their O-line. Like why not take a guy like Hunter or Carter?
And then you have a future foundation for your team. Maybe get a quarterback
next year.
Future.
Exactly. Yeah. Agreed. Unless you don't know. And same thing happened in 2011, right? Like Cam Newton was the number 1 pick. He was supposed to be good. He was good. And then after him, like it died down. It was Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, like bums. Like Jake Locker, what has he done in his career?
Respectfully, we haven't heard of him.
Exactly. I don't even know he's right now. He's probably like coaching like a high school team somewhere because I'm sure he was probably a smart guy. But if you don't take those quarterbacks, you could have taken a guy like J.J. Watt, Tyron Smith, Mike Pouncey, Robert Quinn, like studs.
Hall of Famers.
Exactly. Or if not even Hall of Famers, they're all pros, right? Like Robert Quinn had a solid career.
Yeah. So take-home message is take the best player available
and then wait
your team's needs.
Exactly. And wait on quarterback. Like because that year, Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick went in the 2nd round. Solid picks.
You can still get a solid quarterback in later rounds.
And speaking from personal, experience,
yeah.
Jalen Hurts went in the second round.
Yeah, his situation was a little different, but yeah.
And I'm very
Yeah,
happy.
I'm coming from.
All right, let's change it up a little bit. Let's do something fun. I think we've been yapping for a bit, so let's change it up. Remember that New Heights episode where Travis Kelce went through the coaches and
He had no idea who some of them were.
Right, so that's funny. I think we should do that with you. I've seen you with trivia. You're pretty good. You have good memory. Let's see if you know all the coaches that took this year's picture.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'm gonna put it up for the fans, listeners. You guys don't know. Like Salman hasn't seen this before. First time seeing this. All right, let's start it. Share my screen. Let's see it right now.
I'm looking at my phone.
All right, I'm gonna point at them as we go, so you can just follow along.
All right. So the first one's Brian Dable.
Correct.
You want first and last name for everyone?
Yeah, fuck it. Give me a team too.
All right.
You're good at this, right? Oh wait, before we start, you want to set an over under of how much you get?
Oh, I take it like 24. So like
Are you trying to? Are you trying to sell?
5%.
Are you trying to sell yourself short right now?
Maybe.
I'll say we set the line at like 28 and a half.
28 and a half?
27 and a half?
Yeah.
All right, 27 and a half. 27 and a half. All right, let's go.
All right, so Brian Dable, New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Mike McDonald, Seattle Seahawks.
Correct.
Mike McDonald,
Correct.
Seattle Seahawks. Next one is Brian Callahan, his Giants.
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, no. All right, so I got that one wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's a recent hire. You want to try? Yeah, it's a recent hire.
Recent hire. No, that's Kellen Moore.
Yeah, correct.
Won the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and then now he goes to the Saints.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite, all right? Duval. Liam Cohen, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Correct.
Risk averse, Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
I have no idea who this is.
Looks like a soccer dad that just showed up to the pictures.
All right, I'll move on.
Mm-hmm. Skip this one.
Yeah, I'll skip this one. Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota Vikings, Coach of the Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin,
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Everyone knows
He's
that.
got DK now to work with.
Yep.
Who's the quarterback going to be?
Good question. Find out.
Rodgers.
Shador.
Oh, I like that. Dan Campbell, he's biting kneecaps off. Detroit Lions. Sean Payton, Denver Broncos. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals.
Zach Taylor looks like a dad too.
Yeah. This one's D'Amico Ryans, Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Canales, Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
I don't know who this is. He looks like kind of new into the NFL scene, right?
Yep. New hire coach for a team that's gonna beat your team twice this year.
Allegedly. Who are you talking about? So it's gotta be Schottenheimer.
Yep. Brian Schottenheimer.
I think everyone was surprised when he was.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even look like he fits in the picture.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got a dad bod going. Look at all the guys around him. They're so fit. Look, you got a dad bod going.
And I saw a TikTok where they asked who would bench the most. Who do you think would bench the most out of these guys?
Campbell.
Yeah, I think it's the most people said. Or Vrabel.
D'Amico or Vrabel.
Yeah.
Gotta go former player, I would say.
I agree. Speaking of Vrabel, next one's Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll go back to the bottom row.
Yes, sir. We'll start right under Dayball.
All right, so that's Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
This from the Lions. They're sitting next to each other, too. Ben Johnson, Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Glenn, New York Jets.
Yep.
They stick together.
From the Detroit days. Funny.
Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
Miami Dolphins.
Jewel boy.
Matt LaFleur,
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay Packers. Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills. Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia Eagles.
Hold up. Put some respect on him. Super Bowl champion.
All right, respectfully, Nick Sirianni, Philadelphia Eagles. He's sitting next to his opponent.
Super Bowl champion. Continue.
He's sitting next to his opponent twice now. Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Sean McVay, Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
John Harbaugh, Baltimore Ravens.
Yep. That was
All
good.
right,
That was
good.
good. You got it in your first try.
Yep.
Always takes me a
Well,
second.
Me too. Oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll,
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas Raiders.
You think he has his gum in his mouth?
Yeah, he's always chewing this year off.
I missed that. I'm glad that's back.
I'm excited to see him back in action. All right, so I said John already. So Jim Harbaugh,
Mm-hmm.
Los Angeles Chargers. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan,
Mhm.
San Francisco 49ers. It's not ringing a bell.
This guy looks like a finance bro with the quarter zip on.
I'll skip him.
All right.
And he's Commanders. Dan Quinn, Washington Commanders.
Correct.
All right, so how'd I do?
You got 2 that you skipped. You want to go back to them, or you want to just give it up?
I don't know. Respectfully, I'm not going to
All
get
right.
them.
So we'll go back to the first one you skipped. That's Shane Steichen, coach.
Oh, Steichman?
Yep.
It's crazy.
And then the one you skipped earlier, that's the Brian Callahan.
Oh, I thought Callahan was Kellen Moore.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what?
yeah.
Going back to Steichman, he's going to have an interesting decision to make this season.
Quarterback, right?
I believe in Danny Dimes.
All right. So there's 31. There's irrelevant. There's 31 coaches on this picture. Let's tally up how many you got.
Oh, who's missing?
You tell me. All right, I'll tell you. Raheem Morris, Falcons.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's tally up really quickly.
Out of 31, how many
Yeah.
did I get?
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 wrong. Right? It's pretty solid.
Not bad. So 27 out of 31.
Under hit.
Under?
But honestly,
Damn.
I'll say
Good
you
line.
got you got the short end of the stick because Raheem Morris was missing.
Oh,
Otherwise, you would have got it. So I feel like that's a push.
right. Exactly.
But good job.
All right, now it's time to flip the script to put you on the hot seat.
Oh man.
We're starting a segment called KSnap, where Kunal reacts to images or topics within the sports community and gives his raw, unfiltered, off the dome, one-word reactions to.
Sounds good. I'm a little nervous because I don't know what's inside that folder, but I'll give you my raw opinions.
Here's a hint. We're starting off with the 2025 NFL Draft top prospects.
All right.
Ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, Travis Hunter, Colorado.
Ball hawk. I just feel like two-way star, plays both sides. If
I
he
like
goes
it.
up and gets the ball on both sides of the football field.
Are you saying he's going to play both sides of the ball?
I think he will. I think he's going to push for it. I don't know if the team will let him just because he might get hurt, whatever. I don't know if he can sustain it, but he will want to.
I wonder how that translates for his value, both in fantasy and then in terms of contracts.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like if I'm a player, I want to play receiver just because the money is significantly more. Same reason why
agree.
Hebo wanted to play receiver compared to running back and wanted to get paid like a receiver.
That's a great example. Moving on to his teammate, Shador Sanders.
I'd say aura. Just look at that picture, man. Look at him.
That watch celebration is unmatched.
So much aura. Like he just, like you just want to watch him play. You just want to listen to him talk, just like his father.
He kind of belongs in a big market, huh?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, New York.
I don't know. It was seeming like that initially, but now it looks like he's going to be later on.
Hey, Pittsburgh or New Orleans. We'll see.
I like it. Potential #1 overall pick, Cam Ward, Miami.
I'd say nonchalant. I feel like every time I've seen him play or like watch his highlights, he's just very like chill. Like he's just a chill guy. Like he just
He's chill.
it. Like
Yeah.
he's just I don't know. Even that picture right there, like he just looks like chilling.
He's very confident as well.
Nonchalant.
Best running back since
Saquon.
Ashton Genty out of Boise State. Very blue as well.
I'd say touchdown machine. I feel like during the college football season, every time I was trying to go check his football props, like touchdown props, it was -300, -200. So,
He made a strong push for the Heisman too.
oh, yeah, he was close, but Hunter beat him out. But touchdown machine, I think that translates to the NFL as well.
Does it translate to fantasy?
For sure. I mean, in our dynasty league, he's going #1, I think.
I agree. Last up, first defensive player that I've shown you, Abdul Carter, Penn State.
Michael Parsons 2.0. I just be like, with
I
that
like the comp.
prop top on, like he just looks scary. And
Same number too, right?
Yeah, same number exactly. So
Penn State.
very menacing, and I hope he doesn't end up in our division like Michael Parsons. I
I
don't want
agree.
to. I don't want to face both of them twice a year.
Right, I hope he comes to the Giants.
I don't even know what to say. Not looking forward to that.
That concludes our K-Snap segment. All right, before we wrap up this episode, I want to talk about the state of college athletics.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it transform with name, image, and likeness, and having teams pretty much pay to play or pay to win.
I mean, I feel like the scope of the game has changed completely. Like big teams, like just look at college basketball, like Kentucky, Duke, aren't getting talented players as much, and like guys are going to different teams. Like athletes are committing to smaller market teams because they're getting paid.
Yeah, that's a big factor into it. And also, like, even with the championship we just saw in March Madness, none of the players were 5-star recruits, and there was no freshmen either.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like it's just like the game is changing. You get paid more. If you're like a second round player in the NBA draft, like you're more likely to get paid in college to produce and win a championship.
Exactly. Another thing that's changing is they're kind of recruiting celebrities or top profile athletes to be associated with the school so that more recruits are more likely to go there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it makes sense, right? Like if like a top athlete's the ambassador, or now that we're gonna talk about GMs of that team, like you're more likely to go there because you're like, oh, like I get some training lessons, or like I might be able to learn from that player, like especially if you're like a top player, like you could go learn from that person.
Who are some of the GMs that you've seen?
I mean, Steph Curry recently became an assistant GM, and just today, Max Crosby became a GM.
That's crazy.
Assistant GM.
Yeah. I think the main question that most fans are asking is, are they still playing? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you look at the Twitter comments, everyone's like, oh, like, is this guy retired? Is he still playing? What's going on?
Right.
It's confusing, but what's their role?
Their role is probably going to be like relating to the athletes more than like a coach would. Like, coaches are older.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that coaches are really the boss of the college teams.
Yeah.
It's different because in NFL or NBA teams, the owner's at the top and the GM's kind of right by him.
Yeah.
But in college, the coach determines the whole direction of the team, how much funding goes where,
exactly,
and what the roster is going to be, all that.
And also, like, I think it's just like, these guys have played in the league, so they can add input and like talk about training facilities, just like little things make an impact.
Some of their training drills, how they warm up, how they recover.
Exactly. And like, like this year, like next year, like BYU has like the top recruiting class. BYU is never a college basketball school, but they're running their program in such a way with their funding and their facilities. It's like very advanced and different.
If you can get funding and then recruit, you have a chance.
Yeah, and I feel like guys like Steph Curry and Max Crosby are going to help with the funding, like make sizable donations where they can actually like sign top athletes.
How about Woj? We saw Woj retire from being a NBA analyst to become an assistant GM at his alma mater.
Exactly, same thing. So you just go in, make your alma mater better, donate, because they're donating regardless. At least now this is donations in the right direction.
Right.
And another thing like I saw that was really interesting was North Texas hiring Raj Murthy.
That's crazy.
we got rep as brown men. We got to talk about other brown men.
I agree.
Sports. Hey, yo. But yeah, youngest GM, right? Super young, but like you could tell like they're trying to go in a direction where they're like bringing in different like takes and
perspectives, analytics, former players. It all kind of is for the common goal to win.
And like very analytical driven. This is definitely very analytical driven hire.
Agreed. And that concludes our first episode back.
Yeah, next time we'll be back. NFL draft would have happened, and we're going to be in the heart of the playoffs.
Very exciting. Thank you all for listening and watching. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as on YouTube at It's Case Podcast.